What is up, fantasy people? You are back with the True North Fantasy Podcast presented by Monkey Knife Fight. I am Trav, coming live from Dirty Laundry Studios. As always, co-hosting and West Coasting with me is Tyrell McLaughlin. Ty, how are you doing today, buddy?
Fired up today.
Me too, man. Me too. We are, of course, members of the Fantasy Points Media Group. You can use our promo code 21TrueNorth10 there for 10% off the best resources in the fantasy industry. But Ty, I'm not going to waste any time tonight. We've got a special episode today. It's not going to be necessarily a fantasy related episode, but a very cool opportunity for us Canadian kids. And we are very excited to bring on a special guest today, fresh out of practice. This guy is a former, of course, Canadian high school stud running back, committed to and became a legend at Oklahoma State University. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Carolina Panthers. And just want everybody to say good afternoon to Chuba Hubbard. Chuba, thank you so much for joining us today. Man, can't thank you enough. How are you doing?
No, I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, and personally, I am super thrilled. Like, we're all really enthralled by your story, obviously, being from Canada, hooked when you basically obliterated the competition in 2019. And as an Oilers fan, I thought it was just so cool when the team honored you a couple of years ago. That was, just one of the many things I guess you've got to do along your journey. And yeah, just too cool that Trav and I get the chance to talk to you today. Really excited to get into some stuff in a bit. And for real, we really appreciate your time. I can't imagine how busy you are this time of the week. Canadians might say busy as a beaver, but hearing you deal with the media, your story in general, man, I think what stands out the most is that you strike me as somebody who enjoys a challenge that seems to be in front of you here, and just somebody who can handle pretty much whatever's thrown at them. So yeah, thanks a lot.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. No, for real.
Okay, Chuba. So we got lots to talk to you about. As you can imagine, a couple Canadian kids watching fantasy football, seeing you, we've got a lot that we would love to chat with you about. But we're going to start with your partnership with DAZN. Actually, that's actually how this opportunity came about through us. DAZN actually reached out to see if we wanted to do a feature interview, and we have absolutely jumped all over that chance. But for anybody who doesn't know, first, you've probably been living under a rock, and second, DAZN, that's spelled DAZN. Is the best platform for anybody to watch football anywhere. Like, I can't even explain how amazing DAZN is. You can check out the website, you can check out the app, and just for me, Chuba, DAZN, like, just some backstory here. I just had my 4th kid last week, actually, and I would be lying if I said, thanks, man. I'd be lying if I said I could watch every second of football on Sundays. And so DAZN for me is just kind of a game changer as far as being able to access NFL Game Pass and watch those condensed games. Doing my fantasy football research, I can watch 3 or 4 games in a night with that and really feel like I'm caught up on the action and know what I'm talking about. So that's kind of how DAZN holds near and dear to my heart. Obviously, the only place in Canada that you can get NFL Red Zone. And Chuba, with your partnership, you also get access to the original series that they've got called Rookie Diaries. Last year, there was a really good series with Chase Claypool. And this year, you are the star of the show, Chuba, and we have been excited to follow that. Just want to hear from you how cool it's been to link up with DAZN and kind of document all the cool stuff that you've been doing as a rookie in the NFL.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, DAZN they really, I don't know, out of everyone I've kind of worked with and partnered with, DAZN was probably like the one I was most excited to work with, just because I don't feel like Canadians really get to showcase or like really film and show like the actual process of like, the draft and everything that goes into it and the combine and all that stuff. So like, a young kid, and me being a young kid in Canada, I didn't ever get to see something like that. Like, if I was a young kid watching Chase Claypool or myself on the Rookie Diaries, I'd be like, dang, like, I can do this too. I can go to the NFL. I can be just like that. So the fact that I'm able to do that and like give a little insight and spread light on what it's actually like and how it goes, it's been really fun, really.
Yeah, just like you said, like we don't, like from Canada, it's not necessarily the easiest road to travel up to the NFL, and so it's really cool for us to have you guys as people who we can really kind of root for from the homeland. Because as you know, Canadians are a very proud bunch, and so it's cool to be able to root you guys on and see you guys on the NFL football fields and slot it into our fantasy lineups, of course, right?
And I just kind of want to expand on that a little bit because I imagine it gives you quite the perspective being in Carolina, living the dream right now, so to speak. And what strikes me the most is how much success you had, having to move to a new country. You got to make new friends, and you were so young at the time under a spectacular spotlight at Oklahoma State there. So I was wondering maybe if you could just tell our listeners a little bit about what it was like going from Canada to a mega program like Oklahoma State, because yeah, it's not like you get to bring your friends or your family with you, right?
Yeah, I mean, just to think back, like I moved really from a different country to, go play a sport I loved and change my life to, change my family's life and stuff like that. And it's just crazy how, these last 4 years have went by so fast. People don't realize, like, I look back and everybody used to be like, I want to go D1. I want to do this. I want to do, and I was one of those people too. But like, it takes a lot to go D1. Like I had to, like you said, get up, 18-year-old, leave my family, friends, pretty much everything behind and just kind of put everything on the line for this dream I had. So, from dealing with stuff on my own to, becoming a man a little sooner than maybe some people, to dealing with stuff, mom not always going to be there, laundry, dishes, stuff like that all the time. Don't always got people to pick up after you or help you out. So it was definitely an
grow up
experience.
quick.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience, but an experience that I, in my opinion, I thought was really good for me. I did a lot of growing, obviously a lot of ups and downs, but overall, it made me who I am today, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it at all.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. I want to fast forward a little bit too here now, Chuba. You are in the NFL, and it's getting juicy. We are, getting into the thick of the fantasy football season, and you are on a team now with Christian McCaffrey. You've got Matt Rule and Joe Brady to learn from with their offensive minds. And I want you to talk a little bit about what that was like going then from Oklahoma State now into an NFL locker room and the changes from there and kind of what you've been noticing in your first foray into professional football.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say, really too much has changed. Obviously, there's little things, but if I was really just to say one thing, this just became my job. In college and stuff before, people kind of play for fun. Maybe some people aren't so serious about it. Maybe their foot's halfway in, halfway out, and they can kind of get away with little stuff. But here it's all business. This is people's jobs. Every day you got to show up, and every day you got to make it count. So that's probably the biggest difference I've seen from, the way people act and stuff. We have a really good team, really, really great group of guys. And everybody kind of says we're young and stuff. But yeah, really, really good group of guys. Our coaches are great. Matt Rule and the culture that he's trying to instill there, like it's been really good so far. So yeah, I'm just excited for, what's to come.
Mm-hmm. I want to actually dig into that culture that you mentioned there as well. I mean, 3-0 right now. Sam Darnold is playing awesome. We love that wide receiver core as well. Big Terrace Marshall fan. Obviously, DJ Moore is elite, and Robbie Anderson is just an explosion waiting to happen for fantasy football. What's it like now being on a 3-0 team and you're in the thick of it there, and you're ready to ball and get an extended opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, record says 3-0, but for us, we just go 1-0 every week. So we don't try to think too much about the past week or anything like that, or too far ahead. We just focus on what's at hand and go from there. So right now we're 0-0. Got to go 1-0 versus Dallas.
So Chuba, have you noticed that your phone is blown up a little bit more now that because fantasy football is definitely a monster inside of itself that's kind of attached to the football world? Have you noticed just the big uptick in your notifications on your phone?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every 2 seconds. It's something about fantasy, to be honest. This fantasy, that, this post, that post. I mean, I try not to look at stuff like that too much, but I have been seeing a lot of that stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
No, totally. And it's not, dissimilar from a lot of football analysis. It's just people wondering what that touch distribution might be with Christian McCaffrey unceremoniously sidelined, of course. But I think what's being lost is it also happens to be a pretty awesome football game. And you can't write this stuff, Chuba. I think like playing the Cowboys, the bad guys and the little giants, going to Jerry's world, that's kind of storybook stuff. But, when you look at it, like Dallas has actually allowed the fewest carries to the running back position. No running back has scored a rushing touchdown against them, but the Cowboys have given up the third most receptions to the running back position. And the passing game is certainly where Christian McCaffrey has done a lot of his damage, right? So, Chuba, do you expect to see a lot of use in that facet of the game?
Yeah, I mean, wherever they need me be, and I say this, in regards to everything, whether it's special teams, whether it's blocking, whether it's catching the ball, whenever they call my number, it's my job to step up and do my job at a high level. So whatever needs be, will be.
Very good.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna ride it. Chuba, I got a little stat. We're fantasy heads, right? We dig a bunch of stats. Sorry to cut you off there, Ty. I was looking at it, and on 19 snaps, it showed that you had 11 attempts and 5 targets. So that's 16 opportunities on 19 snaps from what I dug up. And so that to me says that it's Chuba time, and we're fired up for fantasy football. I don't know if have you ever heard of the Scott Fish Bowl? It's a big fantasy football tournament, like 1,900 teams. Well, anyway, massive tournament. And I drafted Christian McCaffrey, Chuba, with the second overall pick. Came back a bit later and then backed him up with you. And so I'm just from a fan perspective, I'm super excited to see that usage. And I'm excited to see you getting those touches, man, and representing for Canada.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I think what gets lost on a lot of people is that it's the little things that go into it. So maybe just tell our listeners, like, what allows a running back to be on the field in passing situations and stuff like that.
I mean, to be, on the field in those downs, you got to understand the whole first you have to understand the whole play, the concept. The big thing about the NFL is, you don't just know your job. You got to know your job and everybody else's job because it all fits off each other. And then secondly, you got to know the defense. What's the defense doing? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? Know the protection calls. And then from there, when you actually get out into your route, you got to know the coverage. Is it man? Is it zone? Am I going to sit? Am I going to break? It obviously all depends on your route and stuff like that. But there's definitely a lot that goes into it. People may just think it's like you go do this and do that, but for running back, for receiver, obviously even like for a QB, you're thinking a million different things, and you got to execute them at a very fast level. So sometimes you can slip up, make a mistake every once in a while, but I felt like that's something I've definitely improved in. And I'm still improving it.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So how many guys have you gotten on all dressed chips at this point?
Or ketchup chips. Yeah. Are you spreading the word of all dressed and ketchup chips for us?
Oh yeah, I actually got some all dressed chips in my pantry right now. No, I ate them all. I just ate them all. I'm not gonna. But I had some ketchup chips. My girl really likes ketchup chips. Everybody that I put on ketchup chips were like, ugh, like ketchup. And then I let them try them, and then they just fall in love. So.
Yeah, they are so good. They are so good. I'm a big Old Dutch ketchup chip guy myself. So yeah, that's a staple up in these parts. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to get back into, obviously you're a rookie, Chuba. You are probably an information sponge at this point, just soaking up everything that you can. As you were saying, you're still learning and growing, and it's a long way to go. It's just your first season. I want to dive into that running back room a little bit. And are you able to tell us some of the things that you've been able to learn from working with Christian McCaffrey, coming in behind such a seasoned vet who is so elite in all aspects?
Yeah, I mean, I say this every time I get asked. I say this. So that's probably the most asked question I get. What's it like being around Christian, or what have you learned from him? And I'll be honest, like I ask a lot of questions, just in general. I'm kind of a question asker. I don't try to ask too much. I don't try to be annoying, but I like asking questions. And the thing about Christian's a great guy. Obviously not just a great football player, but a great guy, and he's helped me a lot, to be honest. And the big thing about the NFL, it's all about the details, like the little things. That's what really separates people, because once you get to this level, like everybody's good. It's about, who does little things better. And I'd really say it's hard for me to like point out little things, but like the biggest thing I probably am learning and still trying to learn from it is just how to be a professional. I feel like that gets overshadowed, like how to take care of your mind, your body, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Having like an in-game process, off the field process, all these little things. So just stuff like that probably is probably the biggest thing.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Lots of nuance to soak up there, I'm sure. And you're playing in a really good offense, like we said. And we're just super excited to see it, Chuba. I want to extend a huge thank you to you for coming on today, man. It's been incredible to get the chance to chat with you. Maybe one day we'll be able to do it again. And we, I know for me, I just can't wait to continue to see your star rise, man, because you're representing for essentially people like us. And so it's just cool for us to see. So
absolutely.
Thanks again, man. Ty, you got any parting shots for Chuba or the people?
No, I just can't thank you enough for giving us some time in what is probably a ridiculously busy week for yourself. And I really appreciate it. And everyone should be checking out DAZN, because I've always sworn by it. And it's kind of like a loophole we got in Canada here, guys. So take advantage of it. I love it. But I really love the opportunity that's been bestowed upon you here, Chuba. And I can't think of somebody who is more prepared to face a challenge like this. So just a big congratulations, and go kill them.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thanks again for having me. Now I'll definitely be back on here. Just let me know when.
Beauty. Thanks, man. Anybody who wants to check it out, keep an eye on our Twitter at TrueNorthFFB. Go to the website at TrueNorthFFB.com as well. And we'll see everybody next week. Peace.